Wow, that's 99 people that got scammed by this listing alone, and there are hundreds of fake Moldavite listings like this, right now, on the internet. This means that many thousands of people are being scammed by fake Moldavite every year, and it's time to put a stop to that. Today, I'm going to show you everything you need to know about real and fake Moldavite and how to tell the difference. All I ask in return is that you share this video so that we can put a stop to the scams. Let's make the gem and mineral market a more ethical place. This video will cover real Moldavites and tektites, pseudo-tektites, and fake Moldavite in that order. I'll also mention a few reputable sellers that have real Moldavite for sale. Some of the fake Moldavites are pretty absurd, so there will be a bit of humor in this as well. Moldavites, known unpopularly as moldies, are a type of tektite. Tektites are a type of glass that forms as a result of meteorite impacts. Moldavite was formed roughly 15 million years ago from the impact that also formed the Nördlinger Ries crater in Germany. The tektites ejected from the impact are only found in the Czech Republic and nearby areas. Moldavite occurs up to 280 miles away from the impact site, which gives an idea of the extreme force of the impact. Mindat.org has an excellent list of localities where Moldavite has been found. Here are some real Moldavite specimens. While small, they are a good example to start with. These were from an old collection at least prior to 1993, since they are labeled Czechoslovakia instead of the Czech Republic. I found them a while back at a gem and mineral show and was very lucky to get them at the old price. Notice how each piece has a different shape. Genuine Moldavites are always going to be different shapes, and no two look exactly alike. These pieces are a bit frosted on the surface and aren't high-grade specimens. Here are some high-quality larger Moldavites from my collection. Real Moldavite is always green. Color intensity varies from piece to piece, especially with thickness. Notice that the luster is a little bit dull and not completely glassy. Fakes often have a glassy surface, which we'll see later. Moldavite has a distinct green color when backlit, and it is common to see backlit photos when shopping for them. This is a real Moldavite set in sterling silver from Starborn Creations. I feel comfortable vouching for Starborn as my friends and I have done business with them in the past. They have a long history as a legitimate business in the jewelry trade, and get their Moldavites directly from the Czech Republic. Notice that on their website every piece is unique and isn't priced dirt cheap. Genuine Moldavite has gone up greatly in value over recent years. Price alone doesn't indicate authenticity, but you are very unlikely to find cheap Moldavite on today's market that isn't fake. I also want to quickly mention AZ Meteorites on eBay as a legitimate Moldavite seller. John Humphreys has been in the meteorite business for a long time and doesn't sell fakes. He also sells other meteorites and tektites, not just Moldavite. I have purchased some really cool meteorites from him in the past and was happy with my order. This is a good time to show some examples of real Moldavite when it is cut into beads or faceted. Notice that there are a lot of bubbles present as well as translucent lines that flow across the stone. These lines are called vermiform Le Chatelierite inclusions, vermiform meaning worm-like. Le Chatelierite is a type of amorphous silica that forms only in fulgurites and tektites. Le Chatelierite inclusions are not found in fake Moldavite. Bubbles in real Moldavite can be round or elongated. I am not sponsored by either of these sellers, but I decided to mention them because I know many people are looking for real Moldavite from a legitimate source. There are other sellers that also have real Moldavite, but you'll need to do your own research and I can't verify them all personally. Tektites also occur from other places, but none look quite like Moldavite. These specimens are Darwin glass from Tasmania. They tend to have more bubbles and a more ropey texture than Moldavite and can also be green. This tektite is Libyan desert glass. Bubbles and Le Chatelierite inclusions are present just like in other tektites. This is a tektite from Thailand. It almost looks black, but when backlit is shown to be a dark root beer brown. Pseudo-tektites look similar to tektites but are actually volcanic in origin and are not from meteorite impacts. These are pearl of fire, also called Agni Mani pseudo-tektites from Indonesia. While similar looking, you can pick them out from tektites because they have parallel flow lines that are not seen in tektites. Some also have a lilac hue when backlit, but this isn't always the case. When a volcano erodes, pseudo-tektites are the last remaining pieces of glass that are still stable. In essence, they are the heart of an extinct mountain and very interesting in their own right. They are not tektites and don't need to be. I linked a really good article on pseudo-tektites in the description if you'd like to read it. Now, onto the fake Moldavites. I'm not showing any of these sellers' information because I don't want to target any specific people. I want to get these scams out of the industry as a whole, and there is always the chance that the seller doesn't know they are selling fakes. If you see fakes online like the ones I'm about to show, please notify the sellers. You should also report the listings to the website's support team. If the fakes are claimed to be real Moldavite from the Czech Republic, that is actual fraud, which is against the law in many countries, hopefully everywhere. Fraud is defined as wrongful or criminal deception intended to result in financial or personal gain. These scammers are out to get your money. Alright, so right off the bat, we've got a terrible fake. This looks like somebody left a green apple Jolly Rancher out on the sidewalk on a hot summer day, and it partially melted, and then they peeled it off of the sidewalk and put a bunch of bite marks in it. This just literally looks gross. I mean, yeah, that is awful. So it's pretty easy to tell that the color is absolutely off. Moldavites are always green, but they're not that color. I also want to point out the location. This is from India, and we're going to see a lot of fakes that are from India, Thailand, China. A lot of the fakes that are being made are coming from these countries. They never really import Moldavite from the Czech Republic. That's already a major red flag. And then you see here in the photos, quality assured, handmade in India. Handmade. Obviously not found naturally. Ethically sourced, that's highly debatable. But you're going to see these types of things added in, how to care for the jewelry, satisfaction guaranteed. And they just copy and paste that type of stuff all over their listings to try to assure people that everything is okay when they're selling these fakes. So big red flags to look for. And you see all kinds of misspellings too. Moldavite, really. You'll also notice they are trying to say that this is from the Czech Republic. On to the next one. Okay, obviously these are all fake. They're all different colors, and Moldavite only comes in green. We know that. And the texture is totally wrong, too. I mean, you can see that vitreous, that glassy luster that I was talking about earlier with the fakes, and the texture is totally wrong, too. These were obviously made from a mold, and they just picked a whole bunch of different colors for them, too. However, 2 of these sold, so that's 2 people that have been scammed. And obviously, these are not from the Czech Republic, they're coming from China. So I went down into their description, and it gets even better. Check this out. Features, fine texture, innovative design, beautiful, pregnant, wait, gifts essential goods. It is a good gift for your lover, family, friends. Wow. So if you're looking for a good gift, guys, for your lover, your family, or your friends, I guess they're telling you to get them pregnant. I think these people have just lost all credibility. Oh my goodness. Here's another classic Chinese scam Moldavite. Notice that aside from them all being different colors, these are all spheres, and I mean, they came out of the exact same mold. Moldavite is never going to look like this. These are totally awful. You can see a couple of their other pictures. They got the green color a little bit better on that one, but yeah, these are blatant fakes. And the most disturbing thing about this is there's the last one available. So this whole bucket, look at how many people got scammed. And also notice that even though these are really, really bad fakes, the scammers are smart enough to say that this is Czech material. People know, including the scammers, they know the real Moldavite only comes from the Czech Republic. Okay, here's another really bad scam. And this one, you can see 17 people got ripped off. Another listing located in China. And this person's got 100% positive feedback. So the people that got scammed, it went under the radar, and they don't even know that they got scammed because this person is golden as far as eBay standards are concerned. So let's take a little bit closer look at this, and we'll see why this is indeed a fake. So if you go through, let's zoom in and look at their texture first. It's a little bit glassier than it should be. The texture is also wrong, but the color is actually, kind of a Moldavite green. It's not really that far off. And you can see, I mean, when it's backlit, it is that beautiful backlit green of a Moldavite. But when we go to this picture, you can see that these are all basically the same shape. They came out of a mold, and I mean, they're also too glassy looking. These are very blatant fakes for anybody that really knows their Moldavite. These are going to stand out as fakes, but that's why. The texture is wrong, the shape, they're all the same. They're too glassy looking. And they're coming from China, so that's another red flag. We've got 4 red flags right there. And again, they say natural Czech meteorite impact glass. So they're selling this as genuine Moldavite. This is literal fraud. All right, here's another one that's a little bit more convincing, and we're going to take a look at some of these. You can see they're actually all different shapes, and they've all been wire wrapped. I mean, it looks like somebody really put some time into this. Here's another important thing. This actually comes with a certificate of authenticity. So the fake certificates of authenticity are pretty blatant, but you do have to look at them a little bit and see what's wrong. With this one, this is a piece of paper that was pasted over, and then if you look at the cutting style, it says fancy cut. Well, fancy cut is a term for faceted stones. This is a rough stone that's been wire wrapped, so that doesn't make sense. And over here on this page, gems, the crystallization of the earth energy shines on the art elves of the world, GRA. Now, that seems like a weird thing to put in a certificate of authenticity, and it doesn't really look like something a professional gemologist would be saying either. You can see that this report, the address is from Thailand, and there are a bunch of fake gemological societies in Thailand that'll basically put anything on a piece of paper and call it a certificate of authenticity. That does not mean that they're a legitimate business or that it's a legitimate certification, so keep an eye out for those. And we see that one of these has sold, so one person has been scammed by this, and I'm a little bit curious, so I'm going to actually go into this person's feedback score. Let's see if that person was happy with their fake Moldavite. Oh, here we go. Fake. We compared this under a microscope to genuine certified Moldavite, and it appears wildly different. Shows no characteristics of the real mineral. This is probably some sea glass. So the things they would have been looking for here are those Le Chatelierite inclusions, and then the bubbles that you see in Moldavite that are conforming to basically that freeform shape of the stone. You're not going to see those lines like you would in a pseudo-tektite. So the buyer figured it out and posted that it was a fake, and I'm very happy that they caught that. And this person has a negative review for fraud. Okay, here we have another obvious fake, but the price point is much higher on this piece, $198. And they're saying that this is a 95 to 100 gram natural unique best gem Moldavite from Czech. So again, it's from China, so there's a red flag right off the bat. But if you look at this texture, see how glassy it is and how it kind of looks like a melted Jolly Rancher? You're not going to see that partial melted look in any real Moldavites. So this is a really obvious scam, but they're actually charging quite a bit of money for this. So if somebody falls for it, they're getting ripped off for $200. This is a big deal. And down in their description, we see almost no details, rough weight, number, one piece. The only real information that we see is, I guess this is mascot themed. And I don't know about you, but I don't think any sports team is going to pick melted Jolly Rancher scam glass as their mascot. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm going to see what other items this seller sells. And I'm not going to reveal the seller's identity on eBay, but I am going to look at one of their other items. Oh, check this out. They also sell fake jewelry. Diamond ring, 14 karat yellow gold, women's big engagement jewelry for $5.99. This gets even better. Let's check their description. Now, they just word vomited a whole bunch of different metal and mineral names. just all across these item specifics. It is an absolute cluster of garbage. Have fun reading through that and see how many errors you can find. Up next, we have another obvious fake. Anytime you see a bracelet with beads that are all the same shape, and then with this texture, we saw this texture on some of the other fakes too. It's, kind of a spackled look. It's a little too shiny, and the color is off too. This is more of that apple green, and right off the bat we can tell it's fake. However, this seller is located in the United States. So this is somebody, and you can see there's 8 sales, 8 people have been scammed by this, but the seller probably got duped as well. And they have 100% positive feedback. This is going over everyone's head. They're missing it. So it's really sad to see. What's 8 times 62? We're looking at nearly $500 of money spent on trash glass that came out of a mold that's not natural at all. And right here they're saying that it's a Czech meteorite and made of 100% natural Moldavite. And then they go into, some metaphysical information, but they're claiming that it's real Moldavite from the Czech Republic, and this is an obvious scam. And I think in cases like this, the seller probably got scammed, and then they accidentally passed that on to other buyers because they bought something, they found it cheap, and they bought it to resell it. And it's just unfortunate to see. Okay, here's an easy one. This is red. This is an obvious scam. The texture's totally wrong too, from China. But this has 8 bids on it. It's at $3.25. So whoever's unfortunate enough to win that, they bought a piece of glass that is not Moldavite. Here's another one. This one's a nice purple color. The color is nice, but obvious fake. And $10.50 with 6 bids. 1 day left. Again, from China. Here's another piece. And you can see the texture is wrong again, but the color isn't too far off. That actually looks like some decent color to me. So obviously, a lot of people are catching on to this being a fake because the bid is so low. And, if those were real Moldavites, if that was 44 grams, you're going to be looking at hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This isn't something that would be sniped for cheap. If it was real, people would be onto that. All right, here's the scam that I mentioned in the very beginning of the video, and you can see since I took that screenshot, there's already been 3 more sales. 3 more people have been scammed by this fake Moldavite. And these are cheaper. They're strung already. They're going for a few dollars. Obvious fakes from China, and I'm just going to go through some of their pictures because they use these stock images over and over. So if you see these stock images, 100% guaranteed fake. And you can see that really glassy look to them. And the color is a little bit off, but that glassiness is a dead giveaway that these are fakes. And you can see they actually have, quite a few different little designs. Some of them are pretty similar. These are coming out of molds, but they do try to make different shapes. So again, use those examples and know that those are 100% fake Moldavite. 102 people scammed. What a shame. And again, they're calling this natural crystal. These are not natural. That is glass, and it is as fake as it can get. So this is fraud. They've scammed people out of hundreds and hundreds of dollars. All right, so remember those Moldavites that we literally just looked at? Here they are wire wrapped from a seller in Florida. And 6 of these have sold. And unfortunately, these are the same stones. Tell me I'm tripping, but those are... I literally saw that in those pictures from before. A stone just like that one. And unfortunately, this seller got duped, and they're passing that scam onto their buyers right here in the US. So just because something is from the US doesn't mean that that buyer did their due diligence. Sellers are getting scammed, buyers are getting scammed. It is very prolific. So you really have to be on the ball if you're going to purchase Moldavite. You really have to do your research. And again, it has some basic information on Moldavite and says handmade in the USA. That's going to be for their wire wrapping, not for the stones. But yeah, sadly, this seller, they probably thought they found a good deal and bought some cheap Moldavite online, and then they're putting the work into the wire wraps. So they're actually doing some work. Wire wrapping takes time, but they're selling scam Moldavite because they didn't do their due diligence. They fell into a trap, and now all of their buyers are suffering as well. All right, I think that's enough eBay for now, so we're going to move over into Etsy. And again, I just want to reiterate that these fake Moldavites are on eBay, Etsy, Alibaba, you name it. So I picked mostly eBay and Etsy stuff, and I'm just trying to get the word out about these fakes so that people can keep their guard up. You can see right off the bat that these are all ones that came out of a mold. They're roughly the same size. The texture is wrong and the luster is wrong. They're way too glassy. They got the color close to right. But yeah, these are 100% scams. And they're charging, depending on how many grams you get, $300, $500, $800. So whoever buys these, they're getting scammed for a lot of money. Now I'm going to go into the next picture here, and look, another GRA Gemological Lab certificate of authenticity. And this looks really similar to the last one that we looked at. Description, one faceted stone. Picture pasted over, that is not a faceted stone, and it's not fancy cut. This is either a blatant, fake through and through as far as the gemological certificate of authenticity, or it was a legitimate one that got repurposed to sell fakes. That's a possibility as well, like I said. Now, one of the nice things we can do with Etsy is we can actually look at the reviews, and you can see what people are saying about that particular item. Not sure if this is really genuine or not, but definitely very stunning. The day I wore it, I got a ton of compliments. It took a while to arrive, hence the -1 star. So this person, even though they got scammed, they didn't realize it, and they were happy with the stone. They're hesitant. They're not sure if it's genuine or not, but they got compliments. So you'll see a lot of these where somebody got scammed, they may be hesitant, but they're still leaving a good review. So that's something to keep an eye out for. The next one, got this super cute necklace, and they even threw in a super cute free bracelet, and I love it. Would definitely purchase from this shop again. Person has no idea they got ripped off. And the third, it's a good looking fake, but trust me, it's not real. So somebody did catch on. So sometimes looking through these reviews, if somebody gets scammed, they're going to leave that 1-star review and they're going to point it out. So it's important to take a look. It's not foolproof, but it's another place that you can get a little bit better idea. Hey, check this out. Here is a legitimate seller showing fake Moldavite pictures, and they say do not purchase this listing. So props to House of Truth for doing this. They're trying to get the word out and warn people as well. That is one of the best things that you can do in business. When you see fakes, call it out, and I'm super proud of them for doing that. So let's quickly look through these fakes, and a lot of these were actually from Alibaba. They're out there on the market. There's a big faceted stone that's fake. Now remember the faceted stone I looked at from AZ Meteorites? It had the chatellurite inclusions and the bubbles. This is totally clear. So aside from the color being wrong, you're not seeing those inclusions, you're not seeing the bubbles. So that's a sure indicator of glass. Beads that all look the same. All right, and there we go. Once again, thank you to House of Truth for pointing out those fakes. Now, this one looks pretty similar to a fake that we saw on eBay. It's got that really glassy look to it. But if we go further into the pictures, you see a lot of variance. So I would guess, I mean, you see how the texture is totally different on this piece, even though this is on a fake Moldavite listing. That particular stone is probably one, that picture they probably stole from somewhere, and the texture has way more detail. That could be a real stone. I can't say for sure, but just look at the amount of variance between this chewed up, wet Jolly Rancher and this texture. Totally different. So with that much variance in their pictures, you have no idea what this person is selling, but obviously the scams are right there on the front. And their price points are through the roof. Imagine somebody paying $450 for that piece of crap. And here, big surprise, ships from China. All right, here's another one. These are also fake Moldavites, and they look a little bit different from the previous ones that we saw, but you can see how they still have somewhat of a similar shape, and that texture is wrong. It just doesn't have the detail. It's not the same texture as genuine Moldavite, so that's the biggest giveaway. And the weird thing, so if you go back to this picture, these are big pieces. And then in their options, they have these smaller values. So whatever they're selling, those are smaller stones than the ones pictured. So I don't know why they would use these pictures, but that doesn't match up. And their pricing is through the roof, but again, these are scams, and just because they're asking a lot of money doesn't mean that those are legit. And once again, they say Moldavite is a rare stone that can only be found in the Czech Republic. So the scammers know a little bit of this information about Moldavite as well, but once you really dig in, you can tell the fakes from the real pieces. And just because it says Czech doesn't mean that that seller is really selling Czech Moldavite. They could just be committing fraud easily. And this one is from Canada, so there's, and like I say, the seller could have been duped by buying cheap stuff from China and then reselling it and thinking they have the real thing. They could be doing it on purpose. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but just because something isn't from China, it could be something that somebody else bought and resold. So it's really easy for these scams to pop up all over the world. Here we have some more fake beads, and they're saying 100% natural certified Moldavite bracelet, genuine Moldavite, raw Moldavite beads, authentic Moldavite, Moldavite from Czech Republic. So they're saying that it's natural, and they're saying that it's Czech. And here we have another fake certificate of authenticity. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. It's pretty kooky. They're saying that there's a business. I've censored the business, but they're saying that that business certifies this Moldavite as a genuine stone from the Czech Republic. So whoever's business that is, there's somebody using their name fraudulently. So that's really unfortunate. And then you get into this page and it says, emerging from the flames of a massive meteorite collision, I am a stone caused from impact with the earth from great speed and acceleration from the skies above. I may be small, but I am a symbol of great things. I am a symbol that great things often come in small packages. Be prepared for endless roads of transformation and connect with the wonders of the universe. Place me close to the heart when there is suffering known. When there is suffering, no, it is not in vain. There will be greatness to follow if you just remember, every day I awaken to heaven on earth. And that isn't something that I would expect to see in a certificate of authenticity. And the pictures, they've got a faceted stone, they've got some different Moldavites, they don't have any beads there. So again, if the pictures in the certificate of authenticity don't match the stone that they're selling, that's a huge indicator that this is a fraud. And then they have supplier information, and I will show this in the address. They're claiming that the person is actually from the Czech Republic. And obviously the person, this is all just made up stuff and it's a fake certificate. But you've got to really look into those and see if those red flags pop up, because there's a lot of stuff that says online that it's certified when it's the biggest scam you can imagine. And lastly, one more time, we're going to look at these beads. You can see the texture is totally wrong, and they're all uniform. You're not going to find, all these round pieces of Moldavite in the deposit. They're all going to be irregularly shaped. So you're never going to find strands of beads that have that rough texture that are real. That just doesn't exist. And if we look at the reviews, this is one that didn't get caught. 5-star reviews across the board, and 100% these beads are fake. This first review is one that I want to particularly point out. When it first arrived, I could not relate to it. Although I thought it a beautiful rich green, I wasn't sure if it was real. I was going to return it next week, but tonight I revisited our connection and found that there had been some interference that had been cleared, and we are really aligned. I am delighted by it. Thank you. And this is why you can't identify Moldavite by feel. There are people online that'll tell you that you can feel the energy, hold it in your receiving hand. They'll tell you to try to feel that energy. Maybe it'll give you some tingles or some warmth or a cool sensation. And there's something in science called confirmation bias. And what confirmation bias is if you want to believe something, you're going to look for results that verify what you want to believe. And scientists have to try really, really hard in experiments to not fall victim to this. This is something that is very prevalent, and it affects everyone. So if you want those stones to be real, you're going to convince yourself, you're going to feel that they're real, even if they're not, because you've made up in your mind that you don't want to be scammed, so you're just going to convince yourself that those are real. And then later on, if you go to a party and you're showing one of your friends, or you buy a gift for somebody and they know a little bit more about this, then they're going to point out that, no, these are fakes. It's an unfortunate thing. I'm sorry to tell you about that. But then it's going to be embarrassing in public. So it's really important that you don't use that as a way to verify whether a stone is real or fake. You have to go by observation. You can't go by feel. And these ones, you can see the beads were from Thailand, and tons of fakes are hitting the market coming from Thailand. We've seen that already all across eBay. Okay, and here are some other fakes. You can see these are a little bit different. The impressions are a little bit deeper. The texture is still wrong. It still has a little bit too glassy of a look, and it doesn't have that fine detail. You can see that it's from a rougher mold, but these are really, really similar. And again, if we look at the reviews, especially this top one, 5 stars. They even took a picture of it in the nice little gift box, and they say, "I'm so very pleased with my new Moldavite. I could feel the energy when I picked up the package." So this is that confirmation bias again. They wanted to believe that it was real, and they probably started feeling that energy as soon as they read the address and saw, oh, this is my Moldavite in the mail. And because they were already, pre-programmed in their mind that they wanted this to be real, and they were told that this is a really high energy stone, they're going to manifest that feeling themselves. That doesn't mean that anything is coming from the stone. They tricked themselves and they got scammed. It's really unfortunate. All right, here's a new one. So these beads, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see that they're really, really clear. I mean, if that was a real stone, that would be gem grade. But sad to say, these are absolutely 100% fake. Remember those Le Chatelierite inclusions, the glassy flow bands that you see in Moldavite, those are not present here, and they don't have any bubbles either. So very obvious scam, but on these, look at what they're charging, $30 a piece. And 36 if you're buying the 12mm ones. Now here we have real Moldavite necklace, 10mm Czech Moldavite pendant, Moldavite choker, Moldavite crystal bead on gold, rose gold, or silver slide chain. And These are a single bead on a metal chain, and they're asking $49 a piece for these. And these were the same beads that were on that other listing from Thailand. And I'm going to pop back over to eBay and we're going to look. This is actually a real Moldavite bead from the Czech Republic. This listing is already sold, and I'm not going to censor this person because this is a legit one. So Czech Minerals, if you look, there's some bubbles in there, and you can see those Le Chatelierite inclusions, how there's kind of lines going through. And this is also a faceted bead, so a lot more work went into it. But yeah, that sold for $87, and it's real. So that's what a real one looks like. Now we're going to go to some fakes from China. Take a look at how glassy those are. And this is the last one available. One sold for $53. So somebody got scammed out of $50 already. But you can see no bubbles and no Le Chatelierite inclusions. Dead giveaway that these are fake, even though they're polished and you can't see that like rough original texture that raw Moldavite has. When they're polished, there's still indicators for faceted stones, for beads, jewelry, whatever. You can tell if it's real or fake. And these are as fake as they get. This strand from China, they're asking $328 for a strand of 8mm beads. So whoever buys that, $300 down the drain. That is such a shame. And right there they say this is genuine natural Moldavite meteorolite. We can offer certificate. Well, we've seen how bad their certificates are. And they're saying that it's from the Czech Republic. So because they're saying that this is genuine and natural and from the Czech Republic when it's glass, this is legitimately committing a crime. So that's why this stuff needs to be reported. I mean, people are getting scammed and it's illegal and it's ongoing. It's something that's never going to stop unless we actually speak up. And here's one more. I'm just about finished with these beads, but 32 sold, $22.59 each from China. And they've got some nice stock photos. Again, I'm going to go through these. If you see those stock photos anywhere, absolute scam. So now you know what they look like. Now back to this listing. So this person is selling single beads that we know are scam beads, and they're putting them on a chain and selling them for $49 each. And I believe that this is a case where the seller got duped as well. And if you look at their reviews for this item, there's 139 of them. And people are over the moon about these. I absolutely love this necklace. I got the Moldavite and Tiger's Eye combination. I felt the energy as soon as I put it on. Do your research on Moldavite beforehand. It's cute and classy. I've been wearing every day to the gym and without any problems or color changes. And the seller has amazing customer service. So this person knew what they thought Moldavite was supposed to feel like, and they manifested that feeling when it came in the mail, and they didn't do any more research because they were confident in that, and they're wearing a glass bead to this day. That is a real shame to see. Now, just out of curiosity, I'm going to go through these, and I'm going to see how far I get before I see a 1-star review. There's some more 5s. There's some more 5s. All right, our first 1-star review, and it's on page 16, and that's 4 results per page. Very beautiful, but the sizing thing is a fail. My necklace comes off. So the problem was with the chain. They didn't even notice that the Moldavite bead was fake. All right, all the way to page 24 before we found more 1-star reviews. Most likely fake Moldavite. Disappointed to pay the price and then find out it's just pretty glass. So got to go that far back before somebody finally caught that this was a scam. And it's a real bummer to see. This person made a really nice description, and I want to highlight this right here in their description. They say, I purchased my Moldavite beads from a reputable seller who provides me with authenticated U.S. lab test paperwork to verify its authenticity. Now, we know for a fact that these are fake Moldavite beads, and we know how bad the certificates of authenticity that come with this stuff are. So this is a seller that was duped by the fake certificate of authenticity, And then they put that same assurance on their sales page because they also believed it. So this is a seller that I feel, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. And this is a really unfortunate situation. Again, if you purchased one of these, if you're one of those people that got one of these, I strongly encourage you to return it, and let the seller know. And Etsy should be told about this as well, because this is an ongoing scam, but it's not intentional, I don't think. It's somebody believing the certificate of authenticity and not really looking at it or reading into it. They probably bought from one of those other US sellers that also got scammed. So this is a third or fourth generation of people being ripped off at this point. This is why these fake Moldavites are such a horrible thing, because it does affect everybody that is interested in Moldavite. And it's very prolific. And here we have some more fakes. You can see their pictures are absolutely all over the place. And they're selling out, 1 gram, 2 gram, 8 gram, those are all sold out. 14 and 15 gram are sold out too. So lots of people have been scammed out of lots of money by this listing alone. And here we have one person that got it, and then we have 3 5-star reviews. So there's a lot of people that are not catching that they're buying fake Moldavite. And occasionally you see that 1-star review where someone noticed it was a scam, noticed it was fraud, and they left that review and warned people. But there's a lot of stuff that flies under the radar too. So I hope this video helped. Let's try to get this crap off the market. And anytime you see fake Moldavite, let the seller know. Report it to the website so that they can either get a strike or have the listing taken down. Anything that we can do, this stuff needs to be taken off the market. At the same time, let the seller know first. Hopefully, show them this video, show them that this stuff is a scam, because it could have been an honest mistake. So I don't want to demonize people. I just want these scams off of the market. And that's why when I saw a scam, I censored the seller name, because I'm not trying to target anyone specific. I'm trying to target the fakes and the frauds on the market. I'm targeting the material. So I hope this video helped. I know it was a bit lengthy. If you'd like more content like this in the future, subscribe to my channel. And once again, please share this. Let's get the word out and let's put this to rest. Let's get rid of these scams.